The white heterosexual girl, Caitlin Clark, got herself an 8-figure Nike deal, and that's a big deal in the basketball community. See, in the basketball community, you kind of judge your success on your shoe deal. It is literally idiotic. Well, Nikola Jokic is the MVP of the league. He's the best player in the world. He's been the best player in the world for the last few years. You know who he has a shoe deal with? I'm going to tell you here in a minute.
These days in sports, praise isn't handed out. It's earned. And when Nikola Jokic, the two-time MVP and NBA champ, hit pause on everything just to send Caitlin Clark a powerful, totally unexpected message. It sent shockwaves through the basketball world. But here's the twist no one saw coming. He wasn't the only one. That message? It turned into something bigger than anyone imagined. And if you think that's a big deal, just wait. Because what comes next? It goes way deeper than a single compliment. Stick with me. This next part might just flip how you see the game, and maybe even the players, for good.
Little standing ovation on the Jumbotron here. Everybody welcoming him in. So much love for Jokic here in Denver, guys.
Oh, absolutely, KG.
Let's start with Nikola Jokic. He's not the flashiest guy in the NBA. He's not out here making noise, ranting in interviews, or chasing headlines. That's just not his style. But when he does speak, the basketball world stops and listens. And what he said about Caitlin Clark? It caught everyone off guard. Nobody saw it coming, and the impact, it hit different.
Jokic, he had 23 points, came down to earth after dropping 36, 21, and 14 in game one. He had just 23 points and 9 of 21 shooting, but still had 17 rebounds and 12 assists, 3 steals. The man had another triple-double. He's sensational. Slow as a snail, can't jump onto a curb, big tub of lard, and you can't stop him. It's just the truth.
Jokic didn't just give her a shout-out. He gave her flowers. He praised Caitlin Clark's next-level basketball IQ and the way she's changing the game right before our eyes. He said, and I quote, "Caitlin plays with a vision and understanding." That's rare. She elevates everyone around her, and that's the mark of a true great. And just when you think that's the peak of the moment, it gets even crazier.
The white heterosexual girl, Caitlin Clark, got herself an 8-figure Nike deal, and that's a big deal in the basketball community. See, in the basketball community, you kind of judge your success on your shoe deal. It is literally idiotic. Well, Nikola Jokic is the MVP of the league. He's the best player in the world. He's been the best player in the world for the last few years. You know who he has a shoe deal with? I'm going to tell you here in a minute. Wembanyama is the next big thing, certainly more so than Jokic, regardless of the results on the court, although Wembanyama is going to be the MVP of the league probably within 2 years. According to reports, Nike had no plan to build a shoe around Jokic, instead focusing on Victor Wembanyama, the face of the brand's new Air Immersion Space sneakers. And I get it. Jokic ultimately had to settle for a deal with a Chinese company, 361 Degrees, a brand that can hardly keep pace with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. No, it cannot hardly keep pace. It has no chance of keeping pace.
After Jokic's comments, analysts did what analysts do. They hit the tape. And what they found? Honestly, it shocked them. The way Caitlin Clark moves the ball, the reads, the timing, the anticipation, it's drawing real comparisons to Jokic. Himself, her basketball IQ, it's not just elite for a rookie. It's elite, period. And if that caught you off guard, hold on, because it gets even wilder. Now, some of the biggest names in the NBA are lining up, one after another, just to show her love.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right. For anyone that's, you know, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, you know, charter, that should be celebrated. And it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
LeBron James doesn't hand out compliments like Halloween candy. When he speaks, it means something. So, when Caitlin Clark started rewriting college record books and turning the WNBA into must-watch TV, he didn't stay silent. He stepped up. He said, She's great for basketball, period. But here's what most people missed. That wasn't just a tweet. That was a torch-passing moment. This is LeBron, a man who helped shape the modern game, who turned basketball into a global empire. If he says you matter, you don't just matter. You matter to the entire game. And just when you thought that spotlight couldn't burn any brighter, here comes the deep range king.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. No shot is a bad shot when you can shoot it as well as she can.
Steph Curry. The guy who made pulling up from the logo not just acceptable, but fashionable, called Caitlin Clark must-see TV. But here's where it gets real. The reason behind his praise? It'll blow your mind. Steph doesn't see her as a copycat. He sees her as a successor, the next evolution of the shooter. And just when you thought it couldn't get any wilder, Curry went a step further. He said her confidence reminds him of his own rise. That's not just a compliment. That's a full circle moment no one saw coming. And the more you look, the more you realize. Steph and Caitlin have a lot more in common than just range. On and off the court, their stories echo. Before Steph became the face of a basketball revolution, before the rings, the records, the unanimous MVP, he was just a quiet, deadly sharpshooter with a fire in his chest and something to prove. And Nike had every chance to keep him. But what happened in that boardroom? That decision might go down as one of the biggest blunders in modern sports marketing history.
Curry! The all-time three-point king of the NBA!
Back in 2013, when Steph Curry's Nike contract was up for renewal, you'd think they'd roll out the red carpet, right? Wrong. The pitch? Sloppy. Almost careless. One Nike exec even mispronounced his name, called him Steph On. That's not just a slip-up. That's a red flag when you're sitting across from a guy about to change the entire league. Then it got worse. The presentation slide? It still had Kevin Durant's name on it. They didn't even bother swapping it out. It wasn't just disrespectful. It was flat out humiliating. And when it came to the actual offer, no signature shoe line, no real vision. Just a low-tier deal, bundled in with athletes no one was building franchises around. No belief, no future. So Steph walked, he signed with Under Armour, and what happened next? That became legend, because Curry didn't just prove Nike wrong. He made Under Armour a basketball brand. He didn't just win titles. He changed how the entire game is played. That humble, unflashy, team-first kid from Davidson. He became the greatest shooter in NBA history, the face of a global brand, and the NBA's most likable superstar.
Just inside half court. Curry pulls up from the logo. It's good! Curry with a little shimmy at midcourt and a timeout for Dallas.
But here's what makes this story almost unbelievable. We're watching it happen again, in real time. Only this time, the player isn't Stephen Curry. It's Caitlin Clark. Just like Steph, Caitlin is being overlooked by the very brand that claims to always be ahead of the curve, Nike. They've reportedly offered her a $5 million endorsement deal. Now sure, that sounds like a big number, until you see what Adidas and other brands are ready to put on the table. Because Caitlin Clark's value, it's not just in the box score. Although, let's be clear, she's got the numbers. She shattered the all-time NCAA Division Y scoring record for both men and women. She sold out arenas. She didn't just play the game, she shifted the entire conversation around women's basketball. And yet, Nike still doesn't seem to get it. Just like they didn't get it with Curry. Both Steph and Caitlin have that same quiet fire. They're not brash. They don't chase headlines. They're not loud or scandal-driven. They're respectful. They're focused. They're humble. They let the game speak, and maybe, just maybe, that's why Nike missed them both. Too clean, too composed, too not. Edgy enough for a brand that often chases controversy and shock value. But here's the thing. Sometimes the quiet ones change everything.
Burks guarding him from the start. Wiggins again. Here's Curry for the record. It's good! And there it is!
But what Nike missed, twice, is exactly what made Curry special. And now, it's what makes Caitlin Clark special too. They don't need to play the villain to become legends. They didn't chase drama or controversy. They earned the spotlight. With pure excellence. And here's the part that's truly wild. Nike had a front row seat both times and fumbled it twice. Now, Caitlin Clark is staring at the same fork in the road that Steph once did. She has a chance to do what Curry did. Walk away, sign with a brand that actually sees her worth, and build something iconic. Something bigger than just a shoe deal. And if you think that sounds far-fetched, just remember this. Steph Curry now has a lifetime deal with Under Armour. His own signature line, a brand that generates billions in value, built on his name. That could be Caitlin in just a few years. Only this time, she's doing it while carrying the weight of an entire movement in women's sports. This isn't just business, it's legacy.
As Lainey Hamilton has been to Caitlin Clark all night tonight.
Are you talking about my high school experience? Clark, cut it!
And if that's not déjà vu for Nike, I don't know what is. Here we are again. Nike, standing in front of greatness, shrugging their shoulders. Caitlin Clark, just like Steph Curry before her, is standing at the edge of a legacy-defining moment, and the question isn't whether she'll rise to it. We know she will. The real question, which brand will recognize her worth before it's too late? Because if they miss this one again, they won't just be wrong, they'll be remembered as the brand that failed to see greatness. Twice. And now, we've got Isaiah Thomas, arguably the smartest point guard to ever play the game. What's his verdict?
I actually love the attention that Caitlin has brought to the WNBA, and I love the attention that women's basketball is getting. For too long, we've kind of the media hasn't really shined the light on the WNBA athletically and competitively. They'll give it a nod every now and then, but now, since Caitlin has arrived and she had a great college career and she was fantastic to watch, and you're curious and you want to see it go on. So I think it's great what she's done, and I think it's great what the media and the WNBA and marketing and the players are doing, because controversy is not good, but controversy sells.
And that's where things take a wild turn. If Isaiah Thomas says your brain for basketball is special, you're not just hearing praise, you're getting approval. And in the NBA, that's not just a compliment, that's a stamp of legitimacy. A ticket to the top 1%. But Thomas isn't the only one showing love. Young star Tyrese Halliburton, he's not just a fan of Caitlin Clark, he's a believer. He's hyped to share a court with her in Indiana. And that's the real deal. When the Irish best are hyping you up, you're not just trending, you're becoming a part of something bigger.
Caitlin is amazing. She's, I think for me, getting to actually spend time around her, be around her, get to know her personally, she's just an amazing person, an amazing player. She deals with a lot there's a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over. And I think that the way she handles that is just amazing. Like, I think when it comes to the game of basketball, like, she's probably top 5 most famous people that are playing right now, just in general. That includes our league as well. And she handles it with such grace, and she's like such a cool person. At the end of the day, she's just a girl from Iowa who's just really good at basketball, and it's really cool to see what she does. And I think the Fever in general, they're like rock stars. They are a big part of the growth behind that league, and they will be a big part of that moving forward, because I think everybody can see that there's going to be a lot of success from that team moving forward, with Aaliyah and Kelsey and, new coach. I mean, she's a superstar, and really one of the first superstars that the W has had at that level, at the level she's at. So to see what she's doing is amazing. And, she's become a good friend of mine, over the past year, and anything that I can do to help, I will, but I don't think she necessarily needs my help by any means. She's amazing. That group is amazing, and to see what they're doing for women's basketball as a whole has been really cool, and she's spearheading that. So I'm just glad to be a part of the journey and watch what she does. I feel like I have like a front row seat, with her being in our backyard, and to see her doing that.
And that's where things take a wild turn. If Isaiah Thomas says your brain for basketball is special, you're not just hearing praise, you're getting approval. And in the NBA, that's not just a compliment. That's a stamp of legitimacy. A ticket to the top 1%. But Thomas isn't the only one showing love. Young star Tyrese Halliburton, he's not just a fan of Caitlin Clark, he's a believer. He's hyped to share a court with her in Indiana. And that's the real deal. When the best are hyping you up, you're not just trending, you're becoming a part of something bigger. But wait until you hear this part. Tyrese Halliburton didn't just show excitement, he hinted at something huge. Imagine this, the Pacers and the Fever together, bringing Indiana basketball back into the spotlight, all because of Caitlin Clark. That's not just WNBA impact, that's citywide impact. And Chris Paul, one of the sharpest minds to ever touch a basketball, he called Caitlin's Rookie of the Year performance well-deserved. He said it straight. The game is in good hands. And those hands, they're Caitlin Clark's.
What you did this past season was crazy. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in WNBA history. 3-time Eastern Conference Player of the Week. 4-time WNBA Rookie of the Month. I could go on and on. So shout out to you, Caitlin. It's been amazing to watch you hoop day in and day out. Not just to see the behind the back going left threes from deep, but more so just to see the passion and the joy that you play with, and to see the way that you make your teammates better. So I just want to say congratulations.
Chris Paul lists off some impressive achievements within Clark's Rookie of the Year campaign. There is a lot there that she must be proud of.
And that's just scratching the surface. Chris Paul doesn't hand out flowers to just anyone. He gives them to players he believes will lead, not just dominate. So when he says, the game is in good hands, that's not just praise. It's a changing of the guard. So what's all the fuss really about? Let's break it down. Caitlin Clark, as a rookie, she averaged 19.2 points per game, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds. Oh, and let's not forget the 3 triple-doubles. She led her team to the playoffs, and without a doubt, she became the unanimous Rookie of the Year, breaking multiple long-standing records along the way. And that's just her rookie year.
The effect that he has. Clark is coming off a masterful night and starts us off strong. Clark stepping back and hits a three.
But here's something most people completely miss. Caitlin Clark did all this while facing double teams, social media hate, and the immense pressure of being the face of a league overnight. And the craziest part? It's 100% real. No PR spin, no favors, just pure performance. But what happens next? You won't believe it. Because the praise from NBA stars isn't just hype, it's opening doors you didn't expect. So why does all this matter? Why does it matter that LeBron, Steph, and Jokic are going out of their way to support her? Because this changes everything.
A tough one to get. Clark off the screen, finds some space, and delivers! It's a triple for Caitlin Clark.
These are titans of the sport. And when they say you're legit, it silences every critic, every gatekeeper, every whisper of overrated. But here's the most important part. Their praise isn't just words. It's a bridge between the NBA and the WNBA. A bridge between casual fans and true believers. A bridge between men's and women's basketball. And by the end of this, you'll understand why this is so important. These endorsements aren't just compliments. They're confirmations, Caitlin. Clark, she's not a phase. She's a phenomenon.
Easily or that comfortably. Over that left shoulder.
Austin had her 11th double-double of the season, and Clark.
As Jokic put it, she makes everyone better. But now, we're starting to see the bigger picture. She's not just making her teammates better, she's elevating the entire game. The WNBA, the fans, the culture, everything is rising because of what Caitlin Clark represents. If this video made you see Caitlin Clark in a whole new light, smash that like button, subscribe for more high-level sports storytelling, and let us know in the comments, which NBA or WNBA legend should mentor Caitlin next? And, trust me, you're going to want to hear what we've got coming next, because if you think this was wild, just wait.
And push pace the other way. First in the league in fast break points.
Clark connects on a deep three.
Caitlin Clark doesn't just bring buzz, she brings dollars. Jersey sales? Through the roof. Social media engagement? Off the charts. TV ratings? She's been single-handedly keeping them alive. And the consequences? They're brutal. Nike's competitors are already raking in profits. Why? Because Clark's deal, it's already generating global attention. But what happens next? You won't believe it. Analysts are saying this one deal could cost Nike millions in market share and brand equity, especially with Gen Z and female fans. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this.
Arrington off the mark as Clark steps into a three. Connecticut, second last in the league in three-point percentage, just under 29%.
Fans are ecstatic. Social media exploded when the news dropped. They're calling her a trailblazer, a game changer, the face of a new era. But here's what they're not telling you. This is bigger than basketball. It's about representation. It's about power. Adidas didn't just see Caitlin as an athlete. They saw her as a movement. And this part, it changes everything. Meanwhile, Nike, they're stuck trying to play catch-up. And if you think the fans were loud before, just wait.
Are you a big Caitlin Clark fan?
Yes.
Now here's where things get even more interesting. Other top women in the WNBA, they're watching this play out closely. And you know who else is watching? The young stars coming up through college. But the real reason behind their attention? It will blow your mind. The top NBA stars are rooting for Caitlin Clark, and that's when things took a turn for the unexpected. Rumor has it, other top prospects are already in quiet talks with Adidas, Puma, even New Balance. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Nike used to own the women's game. They had the stars, the gear, the loyalty. But now, their throne is shaking.